want to turn the question to Secretary Albright to ask about what's your opinion toward what's happened in Bahrain, where Saudi government sent their tanks to crack down a revolution in one of the strategic allies to U.S. countries, where U.S. has a leverage in Saudi and Bahrain.
Thank you for this question.
But did not really use it. And that's returned us back to the double standards with the U.S., what they had for a long history. They had a good relation with Mubarak, but they did not really use it with Ali bin Ali. And after they solved the case of Lockerbie, they did not raise the question of Muslim massacre in Benghazi in 1996.
Okay.
It's a hard question, I'm sorry.
Well, let me say, I don't speak for anybody but myself.
Sure.
I think that it showed the difficulties of being consistent, because there is no question that we are very closely linked with the Saudis, and they are their general relationship with all the rest of you. And there is always hope that the Saudi reform through King Abdullah will take place in a way, and that it's a different situation. I think the U.S. is in a very tough situation. It does look like, you know, we care about one thing and not about another, and I think that people are uncomfortable with the position, but it's a pragmatic position. And one of the things that I always found hard when I was speaking for the U.S. was that, you know, when are we idealistic and when are we realistic? And I always thought that there was a false dichotomy, mainly because I didn't know what I was, an idealistic realist or a realistic ideal. But I think pragmatically this is a very difficult problem. And what one hopes is that the Saudis will see the value of reform themselves and will then not try to impose their will on the Bahrainis. But I think it is the hardest question. And so that really was at the basis of what you expected from the U.S. I think that there has been kind of the sense that this is your story, that this is not a Western story, and that there was a need to support, but not to try to figure out how to solve the problem. But you've asked the most difficult question, and also for Syria. You know, people ask, why is it we went into Libya? Why aren't we doing the same in Syria? And I hate to say this, but there are enough people that have either been in the government or are in the government to tell you that consistency is one of the most difficult parts of foreign policy.
Atiyah?
Yes, I would like to ask a question.